Welcome to Talk Design Podcast, the space where creativity meets conversation. I'm Adrian Ramsey, your host, and as someone deeply entrenched in the world of design, I'm thrilled to introduce you to the minds that inspire me in the hope that they will spark something special within you too. From a design past crafting women's swimwear to pushing the boundaries of performance sportswear, from mountaineering to international yachting, to implementing systematic innovation solutions that transcend boundaries in the aerospace industry. My heart remains rooted in architecture, and exploring the emotional tapestry woven by built spaces is my fascination. My journey in design has been what can only be described as a life of design. I want to thank you for lending me your ears. I'm eager to embark on this next episode together. My guest on Talk Design today is Hector Del Nido. Now, Hector and I go way back. And when I say we go way back, Hector is a holistic trainer, and he's trained all kinds of people all around the world in their health. So it's not just about going and building muscle and, being maybe, say, a bodybuilder. This is about holistically tackling your lifestyle and training for a longer, healthier life. Hector and I see each other every week because we do this, and Hector trains me on trying to make me younger, which isn't that easy. With it, what I wanted to do was get Hector to share to you guys just some things around his journey and around how you can approach having a life that's full of energy, full of adventure, that you're kicking off things on your bucket list, that you're going to live healthier, longer. So this is about that wellness span, apart from just lifespan. It's like, how well will your life be throughout your life? Hector, well designed, buddy.
Well, thank you very much, Adrian. This is an honor to be here. So, yeah, very excited.
Mate, I'm so excited to have you here as well. I mean, we have so many amazing chats between us, whether we're at the gym or whether we're walking or whatever we're doing. And I feel like every time I'm with you, I learn something new that I go, oh, listen, you go, yeah, well, of course, because that makes sense because of this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, right, thanks. Learned something else new. So it's really fascinating. First of all, you've got that damn funny accent. Can you tell people where you're from? A lot of that listeners here are from the US. So give them some context of why you've got the accent and how you grew up. Where did it all start?
Well, I was very fortunate to be raised till I was 14 years of age in the south, beautiful Patagonia of Chile. My mom and dad lived there. I was around 2,000 people in the village where I grew up, went to school, had the best childhood any kid could ever dream. Get home, throw my school bag as fast I went as far as could, get on the horse riding, fishing, hunting. It was just a great life. Never knew about locking the doors or keeping the car keys away from the car because it was, what are you doing? So yeah, South America, Chile, the place. I done the first 18 years of my life there. And then I moved to Australia 2000 for the Olympic Games in Sydney. So I was just reflecting long ago that I've been longer living in Australia than actually in Chile.
Yeah, wow. That's actually always an interesting thing, isn't it? I've lived in this house I live in now longer than any other house in my life. And I've lived in plenty of houses, obviously, but it is always really an interesting kind of milestone when you go, oh, I've lived in Australia 24 years, 25 this year. And you're probably something similar, but less. So
Yep.
tell me about the journey with, you went from, as you say, jumping on your horse, going hunting, going fishing, doing all those things. What brought you to Australia? Why Australia? Why didn't you end up somewhere else in the world? And where in Australia did you end up?
As a very, very young man, I had realized that the school, being able to sit down for long and listen and take instruction was not my strength. So that was a challenge till I finished year 12. From the farm, I moved into a big town just to go boarding school, like all the kids from the farm that they have their family with enough financials to do that. Yeah, it was a bit of a much of a hate and love relationship. I laugh now, but back at that point, I went through the really good boarding school because I was great at sport, at rowing. So
Right.
I keep doing bad at school, but keep doing great at rowing. So they keep me there until year 12. Over 2098, 99, that town, Valdivia, is very big in rowing.
Yep.
So I used to train with Olympians. So that inspired me and gave me, yep, that's it. That commitment to the sport is a great thing to do. So when I finished school, 99, 2000, come to Sydney and see what's life about it. So that was April. I came here and I support, encourage the Chilean team in the Olympic. It was an amazing experience. I have family up the territory in Darwin. So they were very welcome to have me with them for a year. Yeah, I did. So I stayed in Australia for 11 months. And when I was here, my whole approach of life and everything changed because Australia is unbelievable. That's why I encourage all my clients with any teenager kids. And I explained that I truly believe and embrace that traveling the world it is a huge investment for education.
Mm.
Way too many people here, they're too spoiled and they don't realize how good they got it here. So yeah, while I was in Darwin, I got to travel, I got to experience, learn some English. As you know, I'm still working on it. It's a never-ending job.
Mind you, it's way
and
better
I
than my Spanish, man. It's way better than my Spanish. So cheers to
and I
you.
make some really, really good friends in immigration because I was there every week asking how to come to Australia, what to do. And right there, they are beautiful people that they did the job because they love it. So they told me, well, young fellow, the best thing is to go to Chile, become a heavy machine operator. And that was the number one tape back at that 2000 to go to Australia and NT Darwin to work in the mines. So that's what I did. I took the advice, went and did a 6 months course, heavy machine operator. I did 1 year working experience. So I was doing working experience before I got to Chile. Of course, getting organized, somebody
Yeah.
to help us out, complete all the ticks, went through all the medical, all the year and a half of paperwork and investment and time. They give me my working visa, late 2021.
Wow. Wow. So, like, you went home. Obviously, your parents would have been excited to see you back. And then really just put your head down, your ass up, and got stuck in and got the paperwork together, really, and the experience so that you could come back here. And then so you went and worked in the mines. At this point, were you doing fitness? Like, what was your, I know you'd done the rowing. So with the rowing, had you started bodybuilding? Had you started any of that stuff as well? Or were you just like the rowing machine?
Well, first thing in Darwin is not rowing, it's too many claws and jellyfish. So that was not the
Yes.
choice. And I didn't quite like the idea of putting my swimmers up my ass cheeks to do the boats the way they do in Australia. That was not that was not my cup of tea.
For anybody listening, you got to go and Google Australian surf lifesaving
Yes.
boating, and they all pull their like speedos, as we call them here, or budgie smugglers up their ass. And so they've got them like their ass hanging out either side. I don't even know why they do that. Why is that?
Well, I don't know too much about it, but I heard is that way they put Vaseline and on the seat so they can slide better.
Right. So they don't
As
rash.
the Olympic rowing in the boat is a little try with wheels.
Yeah.
So we go
Yeah.
fall back, just like the rowing machine concept too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, when I finally got all the tickets and all the investment and all the time, when come to Australia, that was my ticket to get into Australia to let me to work. But it was no one regulation that means that I have to and I must need to get a job with machinery. The closest I ever got to that was me working in my friend's farms many years after with the bulldozers, front loaders, clearing up areas and farms. Because the very next day I arrived in Darwin, I went all over Mitchell Street looking for a job on anything, because I wasn't be able to be choosy. So that very day at lunchtime, I got a phone call from a very, very good Irish pub there, Shenanigans, that they want to try me out that afternoon to see if I could be a kitchen hand. And I'm like, yep, no worries. So I borrow a set of shoes, long pants, turn up by 11 o'clock at night that day I have a job. So that was my first 6 months in Australia, doing dishes in an Irish pub.
A dish pig in an Irish pub.
Correct. So from then it only got worse. After 6 months, the owner, till today, one of my greatest friends I have in Australia, Justin Coleman, and the whole Coleman family were very great with me. They always told me, "Hey, you're a very hard worker. You're a very hard worker."
Mm.
And it took me months to know what that means because I didn't know what that. So they want to pay me to go to university and become a chef. At that point, I really realized that it's a good job between getting something better. Because at that point of my life, I didn't really feel like coming to do 4 hours in the morning and then going back at night time to 11 o'clock at night time. And it's always want to be a family man. I
Yeah.
wasn't quite good with my goals and working Saturday and Sunday as well. It was just about choosing what to do with my time. So they encouraged me to become a security guard. So for 7 years later, I worked security guard in the pubs. Then a apprentice of electrician, so I was a Sparky for
Yeah.
5.5 years. And like 2020, was that 2005, is when I first started taking on clients in the gym,
Right.
purely only by accident. I never dreamed, never planned that. It just happened.
And was that because you were going to the gym and you were working out and people saw you? Or is it because you're so outgoing and you'd say hello to everybody in the gym as well? You know, one of the wonderful things that if you go anywhere with Hector, whoever he meets, he always greets them with the biggest smile, the biggest, like, friendliness and inclusiveness. It's a real lesson to be around him. I've been to seminars and stuff, and Hector will always be up, shaking everybody's hand, meeting them, chatting with them, listening to their stories and stuff. And it's a really great lesson to have a friend like this to hang around with and see how he acts with people and how he makes people light up because he shares his energy, but not only shares his energy, he listens and present for them. Something that I really appreciate about you. So you're security guard, you're going to the gym and suddenly you're now got somebody that you're training. How did you even know what to do?
Well, I represent my school in rowing, and then I represent my country. We were champions in South America, state champions, and all that type of stuff. So I was already aware that if you commit to something and get some good mentor, you can get great outcome doing it for the right amount of time. So rowing was off the cards in Darwin, plus because my shift work, I have a time to lunchtime. So I'm in Darwin. If you ever been in Darwin in March, it's wet season, hot, humid. Coming from South America, cold weather down south. I'm like, wow, gym, the best choice. In Chile, they never let me use the gym equipment because as an 18-year-old in the boat that I compete, I could only keep my weight around 72 and a half kilos. So in Australia, no weight restriction. Start training, love it, 5, 6 days a week. I put on 7 kilos in 6 months. Plus, at the restaurant, they love me and they give me really good food. So I have the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. That was awesome. So I'll be at the gym. Yeah, as you mentioned there, Adrian, correct. I always have a happy attitude because I'm very grateful of what I have in my life and what I have. And I enjoy every stage of my life. When I was doing kitchen hand or security, then electrician, now running my own business, happily married, 3 kids. So I'm not looking forward to what's going to be next in 6 months, 2 years. I'm enjoying what I got right now to the max. In the gym, a lot of people will compliment the weights I am doing or the reps because I was only, as I'm saying, 83, 84 kilos, nothing special. So I was just happy to do my training. At 21 years of age, swear to God, my belief was if I ever get enough money to buy a 4 kilo type of protein, I would be biggest because I didn't even know the extra amount of chemicals that is in the whole health and well-being industry, how they call themselves. So training consistent in the gym, always happy. Some people get to talk to me, just very quick chats at the start and at the end, because while I'm training, I am there for business. And people will wait for me to have a break and to ask me, Hector, please, can you explain me what is this exercise? Shoulder presses. Or can you see if my squat is good or my bench press? So I will slowly give him tips. And then people will come up and ask me about what is best food and all these things. And I'm like, okay. So I have had 4 different people in 3 months coming up to me asking me about these exercises, and everybody got the same program. And I'm like, okay, so where's that from? Oh, my PT gave me this program. And I'm like, all right. So why he does not explain to you the program? Oh, Hector, no, that's extra money. And what about the food? The sign is all extra. And I'm like, okay. So slowly people realized that it was very, very simple the way I use examples to explain the nutrition of the exercises.
Mm.
And before you know, they were like, Hector, you know what? If it's okay with you, can you help me with my food plan or my training plan? And yeah, all right. At that stage, I was 84 kilos. I was squatting 200 kilos for sets of six, deadlifting close to 220, bench pressing good weight. So I'm like, it worked for me. I'll help you. They want to give me money. And I refused. That was no. I got my job. I'm an electrician. I got a security business. I don't have no, please don't be. So it would take me like a half an hour a week, and I was happy to. So my friend, they feel bad. I ended up every week at the gym with kilos and kilos of bananas. They would bring me steaks and sausage from the butcher shop, tubs of protein powder, different lifting belts. So they would just buy me something as a gift.
Right.
So that was the first year of me actually helping people before 2009 comes. And my boss, as an electrician company, he was telling us, guys, things were really tough in 2008.
Yeah, it was the
2009,
GFC,
things are not looking, yeah, the
the global
crisis are not
financial
looking very
crisis.
good. I need one of you guys to take a couple of months of work where we pick more work and good to go back. So I'm not able to pick who, so I give that with you guys. You tell me who is the one that will be happy to take some time. At that point, all my friends that they were with me, they all have family and kids. So I just bought my first property at that point. So I'm like, well, I don't have kids. I got the security. I got this. Okay. In my hands next week, all my clients, friends that I was helping in the gym, they were all right. Hector now finally is doing this full time. So everybody bought one or two friends, and I was doing 25 hours a week of PT over the first 2 weeks. I stopped doing electrician. In a month
Wow.
time, I was doing 40 hours of, so I was doubling my income I ever did with electrician. And from then on, yes, just got better and better, and constantly keep upskilling myself with all different type of nutrition, training, mindset. So yeah, it was a very enjoyable experience, but that's
Wow.
how I became a trainer.
I didn't even know all of that. Now I know lots more than I did before. One of the things there is who was your, who mentored you? Who did you go to get more education? Like, where did you find it? Because you went on to represent Australia as well, like all these different things that you've done. And, you were saying about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I know I've seen the photos of you with him and just those things. So, like, take me down that kind of journey or that story of like you were doing this, and where were you getting your information from? Where were you learning for yourself that then you start to pass on to your clients?
At that point, I was just doing it for health and fitness, and I never focused about how many times you're trying or too fussy about the nutrition. I knew I need to eat real food, lots of meat, good amount of carbs, sleep, and if you are getting stronger in the gym with your lifting, something is working good. So every time nothing changed for 2 or 3 months, I will change it. And then you go to the next level. 2 years of me training on my own in the gym in Darwin. 1 year I went through 11 gym partners because
Wow.
I'm happy to help anybody. That was before I became a trainer full time. And I'm like, yeah, turn up this time. That's what I'm doing. Just the basic rules, be on time. I don't want to know about you. We can. After we're done the gym session, we can talk about whatever you want. But when it's gym. You do your weights, but just follow me. And if you walk away between a set, it's your loss because I don't wait for anybody. So
I've
I went through
experienced
that.
all that. Yep.
I was just doing my things in the gym. I was very fortunate. Great gentleman. His name is Teddy Dean. He used to be one of the strongest men in Australia. And successful powerlifter and a bit of bodybuilder. And he was training another Greek boy, Peter, just as a bodybuilder. So they were like massive, 105 and 115 kilos. The biggest people I ever met in my life. Like I was telling my friends in Chile that in Australia, in the gym, there are people like in the magazine, just huge.
Yeah.
So 2 years later of them seeing me at the gym, and now we'll ask him some specific question about an exercise or this, but a technical question, no, or what to do for bigger arms. Now I will just ask them if they recommend me to stop on the bottom of the bench press. So not just wasting the energy. Good question. And I was about to test myself with a 180 kilo squat. And I asked him if he was able to spot me or just to look at my phone. So he, all right, Hector, go. You do that. Send Peter to spot me. With a bit of encouragement, a couple of slaps in the back, I managed to pull 5 reps on that weight.
Wow.
I was only expecting 1 rep. So they were like, nah, you got more. You just keep going, keep going, keep going. So I'm like, all right. Finish my leg workout. Thank you very much. And that afternoon of that day, the boss told me, Hector, if you want, you know we're training. We had it sometime. If you want, you can train with us from now on, every afternoon. I did not sleep Albion that night. I was like, this is like bigger than getting my citizenship. I'm like, oh my God, serious. So every advice they ever give me, I wrote it down. I took notes. All the good things and the bad things. 4 months into our friendship of training together, going dinner every week, going to the houses, supporting each other through all the challenges. And then they both really realized and believed that at 22 years of age, when I was training with them, have never taken any type of drugs because they all believe and assume that I was on drugs to be able to do what I do, the numbers and the energy and everything. And I was like, no, I'm just eating like a South American immigrant that I am.
Yeah.
And that's it and love. So that was great. That took me really, really, really well. Massive improvement. In 2 years later, I ended up signing up for bodybuilding comp in Adelaide. So I cut down for a couple of months, only 8 weeks. And I flew there, just an experience. Another friend, Dragon Moo, he teach me all the posing. That's the part that I really enjoy of the sport. And I became 5th in Australia at my very first comp in a national title in Adelaide. Straight away, I went to the judges and I asked them for give me some criticism because I would want to improve. Okay, they give me 2 points. Fantastic. 2 years later, 2028, I won everything that I did that year. So I win the NT, the weight class, the overall championships. They pay my tickets to go to Sydney. I went there just for experience, and I returned home with the Australian Championship.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so at that point, I was already doing PT. So, but just as friends, the next year is when I became a full-time trainer, 2009. And then there was a large amount of truth on that because unfortunately in life we realize that not everybody celebrate your victories, even if they have seen you working so hard. So at that point, I won't say I lose friends, but the true colors come out. So from them, I learned to choose much better my friends, people that are not negative, people that are not gossiping. 2009, I went back and I did everything again. Won NT and I won Australian title for second time. And I went through like 3 drug testings, every single competitions, because WMBF, where I compete, is 100% drug tested. That was great. And that led me to go to represent Australia to New York. And that is where I became the 5th in the world. But the most important thing about that is that year I met my wife, that is today, in New York, where she was representing Australia as well in bikini at the same competitions.
What a fabulous story that is. That's so wonderful. And then also like, knowing you, knowing your family, knowing the kids. That's so wonderful.
Yeah. So going back into it, at that point, Adrian, I was already very, very busy being a trainer. And I was representing the country, magazines, newspapers, all this. I was writing an article for a magazine in the NT. Like I was just like really doing well. following everything that we believe is health. So yes, I got myself 3 and 4 on fitness, keep doing more courses, flying down south to all the fitness events and getting more all the seminars that we could get our hands into it. And 2 years later, went back again to the national championships in Sydney, sorry, in Adelaide. From then straight to New York. I prepped myself for 18 weeks that year, 18 weeks comp prep. So I was below 3% body fat, extremely hard on the body, but I was happy doing it. And finishing that competition in New York, I developed some serious amount of tendonitis on my hips, knees, the bottom of my heels. And basically, if I wasn't getting 6 coffees a day, it would be a very hard day. So almost chronic fatigue.
Yeah.
My wife as well, that year she didn't compete at the World. She just did a national title in Sydney that she did really well. The same approach. Lots and lots of training, very low calories, ridiculous amount of caffeine. So she ended up in a very bad way with multiple bulging discs, stress fracture on the back, and hips tendonitis. Okay.
Does this happen to a lot of people who go down this training route? You know, that they end up in this?
The thing is, Adrian, that any sport, you like it or not, to be the very best, you have to push yourself to some grilling pressure. Otherwise, if you have a very happy comp prep, you're gonna be a fat bastard. You're not gonna do well on bodybuilding. I'm sorry. Like nobody cares about your life story. If you did 100 meters faster than the next person, you win. That's it.
Yeah.
Carlin, my wife, was 23 years of age. I'm 28 at that stage, and we both got chronic illnesses that the only solution in Australia was operation, drugs. We were both buying boxes of painkillers a week to get through the day. So it was a very challenging time. And for 2 years, we went all over the country looking for help, professional medical help. And the moment they mentioned operations or drugs, we were like, okay, that's it. Next. Critical time comes in of 2012 when we got to see the very best experts in Australia about back injuries, because that was the worst one. Sometimes my wife, Carlin, would not be able to get up to put her shoes to go to work. She was a PT as well. So it was very, very challenging. They just told us one more time, you got a 75-year-old back, nothing we can do about it. Change your sport, change your career. And that's it. That's your life for my wife. And then I mentioned, so what are the chances with family? Because I really want to have kids. Yeah, adoption will be a good choice, guys. Wow. Well, very grateful that I was there, otherwise Carlin would probably jump into a river cross. So devastating. And we have something in our heart that was keeping us strong enough. It has to be another choice. It has to be another way. It can be. We're the best in the country at what we do, our sport. Why? Well, I have a ridiculous amount of friends that they were going through similar situations, and they would get in the operations and all the drugs and all the stuff, and they still 6 months, a year later, back to square one. So we were really firm on sticking up to our word. And then through social media, we saw a great friend of ours, his wife, that she had been challenged for many years about not having kids. And she saw an expert from America. A year later, she was able to have an amazing kid, happy life, because it's somebody else out there. Well, that person, that coach, till today is my mentor. It's Paul Check in America. We cared about that. We read everything we could get our hands into it. Well, the computer, to be honest. And a couple of months later, was a course run by another of his trainers in Sydney. Carlin didn't hesitate. That's how we went there. I did resist a little bit because it was a very large investment of money. And now I'm like, I'm overqualified for everything I do, and I do a better job than most people out there. So I don't need to go and do another course when I'm already, my issue is that I have got too much work. So the first half a day of the 5-day event, it was like, oh my God, what are we into it?
Really?
So the holistic approach is all about, as a Czech practitioner, about not wasting your energy and time on treating the symptoms, and actually find out through a mutual work of purely only truth and commitment. What is causing that? So we can work on the lifestyle that caused you that issue, and then the issue will no longer be a problem. It will not exist. And oh wow, we were there for a life-changing experience. We went back home. We went like full truck, cleaned up 80% of our pantry, chucked the microwave out of the balcony, and heaps all the fun stuff that yes, from being a go hard or go home, I started doing grounding, Tai Chi, worry about my water intake. And the sadly shocking truth that a large amount of the experts, not in Australia, in the world, to do with any type of health, well-being type of business, they don't really ever get to understand that the impact of caffeine in our body, it is atrocious. So yes, you can drink, enjoy your coffee. I love my organic bulletproof coffee once a week, but you need to be already hydrated enough. So we go down the base of anybody that work with me. They must have clear goals, what they want to achieve. And over the first couple of sessions, it's all just about an alignment because people walk in and expect a training plan and a diet plan. It's going to be a fraud. And yes, I'm happy to get people that don't like me. And I tell all of them, I sleep very well every night because my conscience is clear and people know where to find me. I'm easy to find.
Yeah, easy to find.
Yeah. So goal settings, right? Then we allocate what is the most important goal. As we target that, another 3, 4 other goals will improve. As females, it's all about helping you to balance your insulin response. Happy insulin, females. And as a males, it's all about balancing our minerals, improving our testosterone, not just the volume of testosterone, but actually help our body to absorb it. So that gives us the energy, that gives us the enthusiasm and the positivity.
Yeah.
So as anybody up there that have any issue with a shoulder, with a headache, with a early menopause, or young kids going through puberty, and you take it to any expert, any coach, any practitioner, if they don't thorough check your hydration, sleeping as recovery, nutrition, then they give you some advice, I will tell you, my friends, to save your money and your time and keep looking till you find the right one. My wife and I took us 2 years, and thanks God we did that.
Yeah, and that 2 years, no operations,
Zero.
no drugs,
No.
no intervention that way. And then it became a journey of self-healing through nutrition, exercise, that
The exercise
holistic
was only
lifestyle.
basically standing up at the beach and ground and breathe because our body have already been terrified, been tortured for many, many years with the hours and hours of cardio and all the lifting without the recovery. So the basic 4 columns: hydration, recovery as sleeping, nutrition, and then movements. So the crazy stuff is that over 15 years they've been coaching, because from then time, sorry, I've been coaching for 13 years. Before that, I was a PT. The difference between a PT, a trainer, and a coach. Do you know what the difference on that, Adrian?
No, go tell me. I'm going to be fascinated to hear what you say with it, because
Okay.
we all come across PTs, we all come across coaches, and often people just think that they're exactly the same thing, that there is no difference.
Especially here in the sunny coast, many names they go down to the gutter, like coaching or holistic coaching or organic. Everybody want to climb themselves that because that's the trendy, but this is the money maker. A trainer is somebody that take you from A to B to make you really good at one skill. And that could be an amazing boxing trainer that he will just teach you how to block and how to punch. Amazing. A sprinting trainer. They will teach you how to sprint, how to take off, and to don't look back till you cross the winning line. Right. Coach, it is a step to step to explain you why this work and how it's going to positive impact your body to make you a better human, not just an athlete. As coaching come from back in the days, back in the Jesus as a
Yep.
Latin word, coach. Coach come from hatching. So when the young man is turning into a man, the oldest wise man in the village will take them all in a journey fishing into the sea. No boats, no engines, no GPS, just wisdom, knowledge over the hundreds and hundreds of years. So he will teach the kids how to read the wind, how to look at the stars, because you can go and catch fish. How the heck you gonna get back? That's a different story. So it was a different world back then, not as simple as now call your satellite phone and get help.
Follow the blue
And
line.
yeah, so correct. So basically, a trainer will take you fishing and give you a fish. Go home, take a fish home, eat it. Great. Next day, he give you a fish. Right. When it's not there, you don't have a clue how to do it.
Yeah.
The coach take you, teach you, disappear, and you will be able to provide your family with food as long as you're alive. So
That knowledge.
my legacy is exactly that. All the knowledge that I have passed on to you for your specific goals, you can see a lot of people that they need some of that as increase the water, have a little bit of minerals, or increase the magnesium. Not just about eating great, but sometimes it's about eating less rubbish, because that's the biggest thing. That is not about we are what we eat, it's more to do what we are, what we can absorb.
Yes.
Yeah, having all the organic food in the world while you're drinking three freaking shit, three rubbish coffees,
Yeah.
your body won't absorb any nutrients. And I won't even go there with alcohol and soft drinks and all the other toxics up there.
But the fact is that those things are blocking your ability to absorb the nutrients from the other things. And if that's the case, then as you said, it doesn't matter how much you load your body with, say, organic vegetables or organic meat. If you're blocking it with caffeine, then you it's just a feel good. It's not necessarily going to give you the nutritional value you require.
Not going into a rabbit hole, but as I always say, step to step. Anybody come to me, we get a very good idea what's the plan, what's the goals, and then we make action. And it's going to be very simple steps. It will be just having a bit of water with lemon first thing in the morning, or stop doing the sprinting, hockey 3 times a week to take an easy walk to help your body to drop some of the aggression or the inflammation, and see how we can work on detoxing your liver. And then 3 weeks into it, that you already find some really good improvement with your energy and sleeping, then I will go to the next step. So it's a transition week to week. As long as you feel the positive outcome, we're gonna go to the next one. Because if we miss a step and then you don't correct that, it's just gonna become a waste of your money and a waste of my time. And we don't really want that. So it's not just the caffeine. That's the one of the most common, because in the supplement world, the amount of pre-workout and rubbish they pump people in, it is just unbelievable. It should be criminal, but anyway, it's legal drugs.
Yeah.
And then the rubbish that goes into the milk. So it's bombarded with different toxics, different poison in your body, so your body doesn't know what you want to do. And then somebody tell you to hack your system with calorie counting, and every calorie is a good calorie. Hey, people can talk, I do the work. People tell me how to get the stronger. Well, stop being weak. Oh, Hector, what you mean? Yeah, you chronic elbow pain is because your arms is weak. Now we make it stronger. Something have to change.
I think
For
this is
many years, over a decade, I have always found great success with business owners and high up managements to work with me. Because if you're frustrated with your everyday life and you do nothing to change it as a career, profession, sport, sorry, but it's going to be a not very profitable investment of your time with me, because you have to have that positive attitude. No matter how bad, challenging things are now, it's always a positive outcome that we can find if you stick to the program and be true to yourself. And if anything out there that we do that it doesn't really give you the outcome you want, it's always multiple options how to get there.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things that different times in my life, I've been around a lot of different business people and a lot of athletes as well. And then also, PTs and things like that over my years of doing things. And I remember the first time that I came and trained with you. It was a group session that you did as a charity give, and you did this thing where we all, put in, and then we would turn up, and I'm like, we're walking around the street swinging our arms and making sure that we've drunk enough water, and I'm like, so when does this get serious? Like when's the bit when it hurts? And I remember that journey, and I remember saying to you, so well, what happens next? And you said, well, when your body's ready, we can do something with it. But until it's ready, we don't want to break it. There's no point in breaking it. Then we'll have to fix it again. What we want to do is get it ready. And I mean, I don't know how many guys there were. What was there, 6 or 8 of us or 10 of us or something?
Yeah.
And each one of us would have all had that same conversation. Well, when we're going to do the hard work, we're walking around behind Hector, who, represented Australia numerous times, competed in the worlds and stuff. And we're going, well, what's the journey here? And I look at so many things now, and the understanding of since then of, just the hydration part alone, just the simplest of stuff. And it's not about breaking yourself. It's actually about preparing yourself, and then keeping preparing yourself and keeping preparing yourself. And, you were saying then about working with business owners, ideally it's about people who want to achieve things and will stick to achieving things. They've got a goal and good reason to get there. I'd love you to tell some stories around, some of the amazing things. And I'm going to give an example of one. A good friend of mine, very good friend of Hector's, I went to Hector because he couldn't get out of bed properly. Now, he's not a big guy. He might weigh 80 kilos. And he was struggling to get out of bed. He's got horses, he's got farms, he's got business as well outside of that. And he just had back issues, like his back issues. Now, I don't know enough about it beyond that, but I know he started training with you, and especially for the Americans that listen to this, when Hector's told this story, remember to go and look up the Kokoda Trail, and look up the Kokoda Trail and what happened with that. And there's an amazing book by Peter Fitzsimmons as well called Kokoda. But this was a wartime story of Australia in the Second World War with the Japanese. And it is one of Australia's, I suppose, key moments of decisiveness. So I'll get Hector to sort of tell you some stories about some of his clients. I only know a couple of them, but this one in particular is a really one of those stories where you go, no different from Hector, where him and Colleen were so broken with their bodies that they couldn't operate, and they had to realign everything. So take it away, man.
Well, my friend Adrian, I would like to make clear here that I have had for the last 8 years, from taking clients competing all over Australia, teams of bodybuilders, into really having a good hard talk to myself and my wife. And we basically, out of 10 people that want to come to work with me to do bodybuilding, I will only agree to work with 2 of them. Terrible to say, but most of them, girls and boys, young, that they go in it, they go for all the wrong reasons. After that, they ended up with some serious mental and physical issues. So large amount of my clients that I have worked with, especially in Darwin, they were people that already burned themselves up from all these stupid diets and the crazy amount of cardio and all these pre-workouts and all the fat burners and all this ridiculous drug world that goes around that type of sport. Hey, yeah, I'm not talking about steroid. Yeah, that's something else that at the moment is very common, TRT and all the stuff. Yes, I do have clients that they already burned themselves in the younger days, and now they got no choice that testosterone replacement. As an any athlete that ever come to me, or at any point they express the interest on that type of drugs, I will explain them very, very clear where I am, and that it is not my topic. I haven't ever used them. I haven't have ever justified the need of that when my body is God given with everything it needs to achieve what I need to achieve with the right knowledge and the discipline. So a lot of times, if they want to go that way, I'm still Still friends, but go and do it with somebody else because I got no time for that. Thank you. All around athletes, all around business owners. I got a team of elite athletes as plumbing industry, bricklayers, steelists, horse people, cowboys. I will take my hat on front of any of them that literally they work their ass harder than any 40 player or rugby player will ever do because their sport is on the job site 40, 50 hours a week, regardless the weather, regardless the condition. And if they sleep or not, they still turn up and do it. So that is my really take on that. So bodybuilding is what give me a great sense of satisfaction to a stage. Then that destroyed me, broke me to my very, very bottom to bottom rock. And that was the best thing ever happened to me because from then we rebuild ourselves like the phoenix, better as ever. I have got a couple of titles on powerlifting as well. After I've been told I will never be able to run a sprint or anything, I'm like, well, look at this. I'm old, but I'm better than ever before. I have put myself in a yearly base through some serious challenges, like the 20K walk with 20 kilo backpack for the charity. As you mentioned, the other charity that I done there, Kokoda. One of my great passions, it is hunting. So to be able to hunt, first you need to respect the animal, be good at whatever craft you're gonna have, if it's bow, guns, or whatever. And then you have to be okay to go find the animal, hunt it, cut it up, put it on your shoulders, and bring it back. So it's not little ducks shooting in the freaking at the rodeo. No, no, it is serious. So I love to put that as a bucket list goal after we fix your knees, your back, your energy. Yes, that's right, business owners. If you're not able to make an hour 4 times a week for your own personal improvement, you won't be getting a week off to go and travel the country and hunt with me or go overseas or come to high country Victoria, horses and all that crazy stuff, or fishing for tuna fishing to Tasmania up in the NT. So
I've got to
it's
tell a story here. So this last weekend, I introduced Hector to my brother-in-law, and he has a farm where he can go hunting. And Hector said, "Oh yeah, cool, okay." So he goes and sees him, and it has been raining here like cats and dogs, just raining and raining and raining. And I said to Hector says, "So you want to go on Sunday?" And I'm like, "Well, I got a couple of other things, so I see how it's lying." I said, "Well, but what about if it's raining?" And he goes, "Do the animals go in when it's raining?" "What are you talking about, man? If it's raining, you still go." I'm like, "Okay, right, okay, gotcha. I understand." But it's that thing of if you're going, you're going. If you're doing, you're doing, like it's that. And on the Friday, you went to do a scout of it, and it was just torrential rain. And so you were climbing all the hills and stuff with my brother-in-law, and amongst all this as well, looking for the right spots to go back and shoot again. Yeah. So anyway, it was like that. What? You're not just going to wait till it's a fine day? And it's like, no, I'm not waiting till it's a fine day, man. It's hunting season. Those stags are roaring now. That's how we find them. That's how we go and get some venison. Mm.
it's like and as a great friend I have in Darwin, and one of my all-time greats is a study case with clients, Stevie K. He always tell me, brother, I am not made of sugar.
Yeah.
The raining will not affect me. So yes, so
Tell us
basically
that
my
story about our mate Matt and working with him, and then his journey from, as I say, not being able to necessarily get out of bed easily to
yeah.
Kokoda.
So the great friend of ours, Matt, at 46 years of age, he found himself in a pretty uncomfortable way, have over a dozen horses in his dream farm. He was unable to put the saddle on the horses. And I won't even talk about doing the shoes on the horses, horseshoes. He had just chronic pain, back pain, low energy, bloated belly. Like there were a lot of things to be worried. And he had already been to America, done men in fire, and many different type of health, healing, treatment, trainings, nutrition, diet, salary juice, and you name it. Only veggies, only meat, only them. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. And also, my friend, what are you good at? Well, Hector, I'm good at running a bus business. Okay, Thank you. Let's just use all your experience and let me do what I'm good at. So we was an instant connection because he was a farm blog, and as I that was my and it's still today. I do horse riding on a weekly basis. I got horses here. My girls loved it. So that was a really good engage, brutally honesty from day one. And at that point, normally I work with my clients if they're in a pretty complicated way, 3 times a week, twice a week, once a week. So as more they need me, the more often I touch base. Because sometimes having a week between is too long to see how things are improving. So we work solidly for the first 4 months, 3 times a week. He put a humongous amount of commitment. He went right at the farm, harvest a lamb, and then I started just going at it. First goal of becoming pain free and being able to move comfortable was achieved in the first 8 weeks. So, what's next? Well, Hector, I just went back from my hour horse riding, and I'm actually, this is good. Okay, what's the next goal? Well, I would love to go for a proper ride. What do you mean? Oh, like a proper, like, and I was like, well, like a couple of days on horseback with saddle packs. Yeah, that'll be amazing. Well, you live in Victoria. Well, I know the high country in Victoria. I see all the movies, The Man from the Snowy River. By the way, that movie was the second most important movie after Crocodile Dundee. Why I dream to come to Australia. So, Matt, you should go and do that. Oh, Hector, well, easy to say. I got the horses, I got the track, I got everything. I'm not gonna go there on my own. I don't have any friends that ride horses. This is around Christmas time. Okay, well, I'm happy to fly over and let's fucking do it. Let's do it. March next year. Wow, but that's only 3 months. Well, it's actually 2.5 months because we're already 2 weeks. Okay. So as we speak now, 31st of March, 2023, 2 years ago, Matt and I were in the high country Victoria. We did 4 days on pack horse, took all our food, sleep in the hut. Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Bucket list
if you
stuff.
got the right goal, the right knowledge, and you got the work ethic to stick to it, you'll be amazed what your body can achieve. So we done that. Not long after, well, I got another group of friends, clients. My client Amy, that wasn't able to eat anything while she was in a 2 or 3 day event business because she has so many different food intolerances that everything she eat will make her cough, vomit, and have a terrible, terrible time. So she came along with me after being with many, many doctors. I've been very concerned about her health well-being, being light cities, and step to step, we fix her gut health, improve that, being able to tolerate more different type of different food groups, and step to step heal herself to the point she will arrive. I'm strongest, healthiest been in a long, long time. What we do next? So I sent her some homework, and she got back a week later telling me that her grandma was helping the soldiers in Kokoda in Papua New Guinea. So done. Okay. When we do it, 7 months. Okay, that's the time we can do it. I sent an email, 8 other customers that replied back that they were happy to do it. One of them was Matt, the one that used to have a crippled back and bad knees. So okay, horses done. Now get ready for Kokoda. So we use that as a very big carrot at the end of the journey to really motivate us to get up in the morning, because you don't want to be the one person in a group of 8 that doesn't actually
It doesn't
fully
get there.
finish.
Yeah.
One of them for business was unable to turn up, but still did the training the whole way. So we were a group of 7 in Kokoda, and that was an amazing life experience. So being able to do it there, knowing that there are 2 team members with back operation, knee operations, some serious injuries that they have overcome over the time working with me. Some of them for 8 years, some of them only for 6 months. One of my boys, Josh, from Kingaroy, he did 8 months of work in 4 months of a time frame.
Yeah.
Because he already have the back operations, everything terrible. I knew him from 3 years before that. And when he saw the Coca-Cola, he was like, Hector, if you can fix me, I sign up and I do it with you guys. So I replied back to him, all right, Josh, I'm not going to fix you. You're the only one able to fix you. So if you make me waste time taking forever to take action, we don't have enough time. So we got 5 months to the day. We need to do a year of work in 5 months. So I need you to put on 8 months of work into 4 months. And he did amazingly. His whole family started getting work because he got leaner, trimmed down as ever been in his life. Yeah, fantastic. So 2 years later, still goes hunting every week, play with his kids, have a normal life how he should be a mid 30-year-old business owner.
Yeah.
So just as that, you want me to give you some stories that
Right.
all link to them. Somebody's amazing outcome, it will snowball into somebody else. So being able to have a pretty cruisy existence with my business over the last 3.5 years living in Queensland is amazing because you need that one person that is ready to commit and improve their life to the all-time best is the one that is going to have that energy, that
I,
happiness
yeah.
that everybody wants, and you're not able to buy it, and nobody can do it for you.
You can only earn it. You can only earn it.
Correct.
I think, the wonderful thing about the different people that you've obviously helped is I know you have clients all across Australia, you have clients in New Zealand, you work internationally as well. So it's not like that you have to be front and center with them the whole time to train them. You've got a system that works really, really well. It's very personalized. And the thing that always amazes me is like I'll see you and you'll be like, what about this? What about this? There'd be something that you asked me about, and I'm like, and I said something in passing about that, but it's like, and that thing of if I haven't spoken to you in a few, probably in a week or something, it's like, wait, where are you? What's going on? Why, I might be away shooting TV or something like that, but it's like, where are you? What's going on? What are you doing? Are you doing your stretches? How much water are you drinking? It's this amazing, I suppose, caring. It's the incredible part that comes with getting results out of it as well. Like, and the feeling that you can get. And like a lot of people say to me, how do you do so much? Like I'm pretty hyper energy anyway, but how do I get through so much? And I start early in the morning and I finish like, in the late afternoon, and I'll have dinner and stuff with my family. Often I'll go and do a bit more work or a bit more, another thing that I'm doing. But I get to still go surfing. I still get to go and go snow skiing and do all these things that I love to do. But with the mindset and then also the physical challenge of going, okay, how do I improve this? Like, just the things when I'll go, yeah, but that needs titanium, Hector. And he's like, yeah, I don't care about your titanium knee. I need you to do this. It's like, okay, and this is how you can achieve it without hurting yourself as well. It's not proving anything like to show off. It's proving it step by step and to do it for yourself so that you actually get that next point. And we were already pretty aligned on the food thing because I'd changed my diet for brain health. I'd gone, my dad has Alzheimer's. What can I do for that? And so that had made me change my diet dramatically to go, I don't want to end up in the same space as my dad he's got lifespan, he's 96, he's 97 this year, but his health span ran out at about 94, 93, 94 years of age. And then the Alzheimer's has really started to eat away at that dimension. Now it's eating away at who he is. And I mean, he's met you as well. Like I'd bring him down and see Hector when I'd go and do some training and stuff. But just that part of it, looking forward in life and going, okay, well, that's years away. I want to get to there with health span and so that I can do things so that I can be active. And then also I want to be able to influence people with not my health, but with my ability to design and my ability to see how their houses nurture them, how those other parts of their life, when we look at holistically, I'm not going to be training people in how to holistically eat or to do exercise, but I'm like going, how do we get you to live better? How do we get you to live with more health and more joy from your environment? I think that's one of the big things that I enjoy with us is we're like, there's this constant conversation around, what would make it better? How would it be better? So I'd love you to tell me sort of like about the other amazing experiences, because there's really only a few ways to work with Hector. One is to hire him to help you with your health and your holistic lifestyle, and that will help you in business. It will help you in all those areas. The other way that Hector makes himself somewhat available is he does some very limited group tours, and there's a real qualification process to be able to even be on a group tour. These adventures, they're more than tours, they're experiences, they're life-changing. Most people would love to have one of these in their bucket list in their life, just one. There's people that you get to tick these off with Hector as he takes people into places and spaces they could never imagine that they could be in, and living their truest life. Give me a rundown, man.
So I will take on that question, Adrian, but before that, I just wanted to. So everything we do is to do with goals. If we don't have a real goal, that really, you need to have a goal bigger than your excuses to be able to achieve them. We all got some different excuses on different part of our life, but if the goal is really something that drives you and is been in your mind for a long time and you're already giving up because your energy or your overweight or your injury and you have been told that you will never ever be able to do that, it's like if you believe that, it is okay, this is it.
Yeah.
When I was 15 years old, I got backed off a bull, hit my side very hard, broke a couple of ribs. A week later, I ended up in hospital with my appendix being taken off. That doctor saved my life. I got great friends, doctors. I work with a lot of doctors. I train doctors, doctors' wives. When the moment of an operation, they saved my life, they were heroes. But when I have chronic issues, when I have energy issues, when I have ongoing pains, people have to remember that every single cell in our body, it will rebuild over time. It will regenerate, just like your head, your skin, your nails, soft tissue, bone on bone, disc on disc. That it is the reality of that time in your life. It is possible to rebuild them and get you as good as you were before, sometime better. When the doctor tells you you are done, you're 50 years of age, and this is it, don't never aim to do that, they are correct, as long as you never look at improving your lifestyle. So anybody that comes to see me and expect to do amazing work, eating meat pies and iced coffees and KFC, I'm like, hey, you making great income from all the pharmaceutical industry with all you 10 different fucking cocktail of tablets and drugs because you eating rubbish. If you eat rubbish, you are rubbish. So it is a true on everything, but thinking outside of the box and having a go. I'm 100% honest to tell people this is gonna be something really good that we can do together as long as you're willing to have a go. And if you have a go at everything, and in 6 weeks later, you haven't seen any positive outcome on all these things, that is your money, 100% money guarantee. Till today, I haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not going to drop the 10 kilos you dream about it, but how about guess what? You will have energy in the morning. You're not going to fight with your kids every day to go to school. You're no longer going to hate to go to work because when we are not good with ourselves, we won't be our best to everybody else. And I truly believe that leading by the example, it is the way how we all should run our life. Every time when I check on you, Adrian, or any of my friends and clients, you need to remember in my office, I got two different calendars. All my calendars with all my clients' goals, a skiing in July in Japan, a skiing in Canada, end of the year. So if I see your goals up in my board and I see that you're not doing what you should be doing 2 months out, my job it is to give you a reminder, keep you accountable. So when it's time to go hard, we put the foot down. When it's time to take it easy, back off, it's fine. Few of my clients, they over Europe on holidays. Fantastic. Enjoy that. Don't worry about looking for a gym while you're over there. But let's get the work done ahead before you go. And then when you go back here, you're not going to be worried about how I need to catch up because now you have a life, business, kids. It's been a way when it's time to take time off and recover. And then when it's time to go hard. So I stopped drinking alcohol long, long time ago when I started doing well with my sport back in 2008. And it's something amazing that when you keep your brain cells, your memory is always sharp.
Yeah. Isn't that
And
true?
everything that I discuss with any customer or any invitation or anything, it all goes on my default diary in my 12 months planner. So I don't overbook myself and I don't miss any experience and events. Yeah, I just find that being optimized. Some of my friends, especially around Christmas, around New Year's, Christmas, everybody gets relaxed, they get busy, and then go back in January to take the business aggressively is a very hard one. So I give them all the tricks and secrets to have the best Christmas, enjoy your food, enjoy your drinks, and it won't take you a month to get back onto it.
Yeah.
So as soon as you hit the ground right and you prepare, great. July, tax financial year. A lot of my clients are not sleeping enough, they're having issues with work, all the stress. All right, this month we're not going to work on getting your body fat down to 10% or increase your bench press by 20 kilos, or just let's hold the line. So I've been called many times as a high performance coach for business
Yeah.
without the exercise part of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's a big thing. Like as you say, it's holistic. Those things are going to happen in their lives. There's going to be those
Yeah.
times, and then it's working with those times to work through them and around them. I think that's really important. Tell us about the tours,
All right.
and also about how you qualify for a tour. What has to
Yeah.
happen if I
So
want to go to
basically,
Patagonia with you? What
yeah,
does that
right.
look
So
like?
basically, many people will come to me for a different reason, different goals. And as soon as we optimize the energy, they are aware that they are actually able to get on a horse without being worried about falling off the horse and breaking their back because they're made of freaking popcorns. No, you're tough. You can handle a bit of scrap on the floor. It's okay. Your body will handle it. So as a good one here, one of my really good friends, Dom from Sydney, diesel mechanic, he wants to go to the Patagonia with his family. Fantastic. We're looking at February next year, 2026. He's only concerned that in the whole 7 day package, we do have a fair bit of horse riding. He's not really confident with the horses, and he have a 17 years of a chronic back issue. His whole life been married, his back being a disaster. Okay, buddy, by the way, I can help you with your back. 4 months later, his back is good as ever. Doing all the work, no worries. Doing more work than he should be because he feels good now. Right. How are we going to test it? Hector, next big drama. Very hard to get my hands away from my business. I can't take them. Okay, that needs to be improved because the way you speak is the way your life goes. So I'm like, I will be able to make time away from my business when I get the right team members to help. So that's a part of the life coaching as a Czech practitioner that I practice. So, okay, you're coming with me to Darwin. We're going to go to a million acre station, 1,000 kilometers from Darwin. Is no phone reception. So you have to be ready to, at all times, we are hunting away from the station to be okay with not having your phone. And then when we get back to Homestead, you won't check your phone or nothing till we get all the meat done, get the cooking, get the guns, get everything ready, get the petrol for the car to next day morning. So you got that 6 to 7 in the morning empty time to do that. Can you handle it well? And I truly believe is not a better way to test your back than picking up heavy camels, back legs, quarters, buffaloes from the floor into the back of the ute for 4 days. So that's one of my experience. Outback Darwin, hunting, helibugs, heli fishing, blue water fishing. I done 21 years in Darwin. I got great amount of contacts as just twice a year at least. Another one in the high country, Victoria. You want to go and have a go? If you can live off the land, let's go. We take fire, guns, knives, salt. Let's do it. We hunt, we eat. We don't, we fast. In Sydney as well, I got some really good properties access to take people for experiences. It doesn't have to be all around hunting. Like I said, we did Kokole in Papua New Guinea. That was an amazing. And I'm looking to take another group, 2027, because as a true blue Australian, it is an unbelievable history. And doesn't matter how hard it is, the whole experience, the whole track. Hey, we are not getting shots. We get food 3 times a day. We get to change our socks and boot. So don't whinge. It is a eye-opening experience. I have as well, and all goes down to if we're gonna go to New Zealand to have the very best time in Christchurch, get dropped by a helicopter to go to the Canterbury country hiking, surviving. You have to have 110% confident that your body will handle it. Physically, mentally, cold, heat, hungry. They're all part. They all ended up being an amazing party, like great fun, great people. And then you just get to take your bucket list.
Yeah.
And while we're doing it, talking over the campfire, we talk about what's the next crazy thing. So tuna fishing down in Tasmania, it is on the list. Going to Glass Mountains here or the Alaska, the Yukon.
Yeah.
So it's basically my job is to give you the confidence, do all the practice in Australia. So when we go overseas, you're not going to regret it because it is a large amount of financial investment and time preparing for it. So to qualify to do the Patagonia experience, where we got horses, of course, we got water rafting, we got the most amazing salmon trout fishing in South America, amazing cuisine, food, glaciers. So it is a whole list of many different things that we can allocate over that. So Patagonia experience Chile, it is on my one of my business. So that's the one that I will use with anybody that have had that dream to go and explore, but wasn't very confident first with the body to handle it, to having me every single day shop around to make sure you will be able to return home with your kidneys.
I think one of the things there is, going home with your kidneys is probably pretty important, is the fact that these experiences that you go and do with people, everybody sees them as totally life-changing, and they are. Beyond just being life-changing in that moment for the adventure, they're life-changing in the foundation it builds to go, and then the foundation that puts in for the next thing that you might want to do, whether that be in business or in any other relationship that you've got as well. It's like, how do you build these things? I would love to, I'll be posting how everybody can get in contact with you. I'd love you to tell me, so if you're an American and you are sitting in, I don't know, Wisconsin or Texas or California, and you're listening to this and you go, I'd like to do that. What is the best way for them to reach out to you as well? I will post, obviously, email and those kind of things to get hold of you, your social media as well. But then if somebody goes, I want to be a part of one of those experiences, I've got issues or no issues. I just want to be healthier and stronger, or I've got a back that I can't imagine being able to, walk the Kokoda or any of those things. And remembering these guys carried their own packs on the Kokoda. They didn't use porters. They carried their own packs to do it as well. So with that, I go...
That one item is by choice. We choose to carry on our way because the carriage is good income for them to help.
Yes.
Just like they do a lot on the Yukon in North America. You can fly there and then do your hunt around, or you can do a hard 6 days walking. Like it's all depend what is your expectations and how strong your body. I have been able to facilitate all the contacts for my friends to take the father that is on his last couple of years of being strong and healthy to hold the gun to be able to shoot a buffalo, a water buffalo. the same with the camels. So if you're interested in Australian great outback hunting or in the Patagonia of South America,
Or the
contact me
Yukon.
on the link that I put up there. Normally in South America, 8 to 10 weeks of the year from New Year's to the end of March, because after that it is all just snow and
Yeah.
cold. Absolutely one of some of the best red deer and wild Russian bull in the south of Patagonia. Like amazing how well they grow the animals as the good conditions of food. So yeah, just first thing engage. I always make sure whatever you're looking at, I have enough referrals, testimonials. So you will hear about what we do, not from myself, from actually customers. In the next 4 weeks, Adrian, we got a bit of a busy next 8 weeks as we know. We already got the one here, the first one here is in 20 minutes from the Gold Coast, a day and a half experience. So we're looking at
What
cooking
date?
up all the
What date
meat.
is that? It's beginning of June, isn't it?
No, Adrian, we're looking at the mid-May.
Mid-May.
I don't
Yeah.
have the date yet, but what involved, as many things we do, we cook using the most basic on fire, on timber, harvest the animal, working on the leather work, timber work, all the Asian traditions that have been missing for many, many decades all over the world.
Yeah,
I have been there.
all those artisan traditions of like making whips, belts, working on the leather,
Correct.
working on all the
Yeah.
it's not about trophy hunting. It's about actually making the food from it, actually working with that food, and then taking all the parts of the animal and utilizing all those parts of the animal as well. I've been, privileged to spend time with Hector as he's made whips and belts and, stretched hides. Just it goes on
As
and
you will
on
call
with his family and everything. Yeah.
as you call it in America, riatas, all that type of stuff, jacamos, being able to actually enjoy the meat of some beef and then don't waste the leather.
Yeah.
Just utilize that as rawhide and how to work it. And then when you do all that by hand over 2 or 3 days, then you really appreciate the value of that. The same is in South America, we got a lot of lambs. So I learned to work with wool, shearing it, washing it, turning that into strings, and then how to make it into a cinch for the horse.
Yeah.
So you're never gonna have a minute to get bored. It's always keep activities happening. Yeah, we always learn. I am very grateful to be many, many times over the last 15 years cross paths with the right people at the right time because as you said, our connection started coming up to 5 years ago. We
Yeah.
fully lock in our friendship solidly over the last year,
Yeah.
but we always have the high energy. High energy goes down the line of being happy, don't believe in yourself, be honest,
Yeah.
be aware that whatever grade you want to achieve, you have to put amount of time. Otherwise, you're gonna live life with full of disappointments. Kids, and
100%.
not kids, not very old people, they waste so much time of their life on the dreaming of what they will do, this. So they put the whole life preparing for something, and then when they're ready to do it, it's too late. So I have from 14-year-old kids to 78-year-old clients. As long as you have the will and the intention to improve and be honest, is the very beginning of everything.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, I'm going to post everything on how you can get hold of this amazing human, Hector, and enjoy the spirit that he brings to the world. Hector, thank you so much, man, for sharing all that with everybody. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, my friend Adrian. Love your work. As I always say, been a pleasure. And this is only the beginning.
Yeah.
We're just getting into the surfboard and they get you behind we've been in the fire, need to do the horses. Now this is only the beginning. I'm looking forward to let's do this again in 3 years. See how many photos and memories we're gonna have.
100%, man. 100%. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into our conversation. I hope it left you both informed and inspired. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen, and please don't hesitate to share your design thoughts with me. It's always a joy to hear from you. If you're like me and crave a deeper dive into design thinking, coupled with a love for travel and adventure, consider one of my architectural adventures. Join me and some of my wonderful design friends and embark on a journey of a lifetime. Apply for an unforgettable design experience at adrianramsey.com. With our clients spanning the globe, I firmly believe behind every great project are great people. If you're a great person and seeking to turn your dream into a reality, I'd be honored to design your home with you. Why not join the ranks of our exceptional clients and let's make your heart sing? Reach out to me at studio@ardesignhouse.com. That's studio@ardesignhouse.com, and let's get a conversation going and make your heart sing.